When WTO asked when the moment was last year that I felt life was changing was probably either the weekend before St. Patrick's Day or that week of.
As a respiratory therapist in the middle of a respiratory pandemic, it was incredibly scary.
I was set to have a baby at the end of March. March 13th, I started my maternity leave. I was set to be induced on March 17th.
Over a year ago, we were taught different isolation techniques to use with COVID-19 patients. We were barely hearing about COVID-19 at the time. We didn't know how many patients we would get, how sick they would be, what their symptoms would be, or how we would handle it.
I work as a speech-language pathologist in a subacute rehab and long-term care facility, working with those with dementia and strokes and many other ailments. And we went on full lockdown, which we had no idea what that would be at that point.
Then I had to wait another 8 more days before I could go back to the hospital to have her, which I did. Luckily, March 25th, she was born.
We wore full PPE everywhere. That PPE ran out very quickly. I remember our administrator having to go to the national stockpile and sign out for certain items, and you could only have so much weekly. I'll never forget that.
I spent the entire quarantine during my maternity leave, so I did not leave my house for quite a while. Grandparents did not hold our newborn until she was 6 weeks old, and that, I would say, was the hardest on them.
I'll never forget, in the mornings, our therapy staff would come together, and instead of morning huddle or getting ready for the day, we were doing prayer because we didn't know what day-to-day would look like. And that was probably the thing that kept, I think, each and every one of us going.
It was a very scary, unsure time, but now she is, within a couple weeks, our baby will be 1 and we have made it through.
What I have seen since has been remarkable. The people I work with are extraordinary, and it has been a year I will never forget.